mind. So, the more we recite the mantra of me, I, mine, which we recite all the time, maybe 24 hours, or whenever we are conscious, the more painful it is, the more difficult it is. The more difficult it is to handle, the more we find more difficult to handle the situations. So first there is sense of inherently or truly or real existing I. On the basis of that real I, then this we hold this I so precious, so important. More precious, more important than anyone else, anything else. So first there is the appearance, grasping of real I, true I. On the basis of that true I, real I, then this I becomes important. Not only important, this I becomes most important, more important than anyone else. That is the problem. Not because it's important. Not just because that I is important. If we can see everyone important equally, this wouldn't be as big problem as it is now. But not only we see important, overly concerned, not only concerned, overly concerned. So we cherish or we grasp it so strongly, in so important way, on the expenses of others. If we don't do that, then again it will not be so big problem. Cherishing yourself is not a problem. It will not be so problem if we cherish yourself as equally as you cherish the rest of the sentient beings. So when we use self-cherishing, it is not just cherishing, it's overly cherishing, where you feel you are more important than others. That is the problem. That is the main thing. Check it out, check it out with our own experience. Why do we feel so hurt, upset, when someone acts in a certain way, when someone says something, or when someone thinks, or views certain issue in certain way? Not just because someone expressed different view, not because he acted in that way, not just because he said something, because that hurts me, that hurts my ego. That is the key. As long as it hurts my ego, I don't care whether you say truth or false. As long as it doesn't hurt my ego, I don't care whether it's false or truth. Do you get it? I'm fine, you can tell all lies, all the false, as long as it doesn't hurt my ego and me. But if it hurts my ego and my mind, even you tell truth, I don't care, I'm upset, I'm angry. It's interesting, isn't it? Usually in our mind we think, I'm upset because you are telling lie, false. You are not being honest. That is how we feel it. I'm not upset because anything else, but because you are not honest, you are not telling lie. But actually, if you go deeper than that, it's not just that. It's not just that. It's not just that. Because someone might telling lies to someone else, which doesn't involve our personal anything. You might not be so upset. You know they are lying. You might not be so upset. But that person tells the same lie to you. It becomes very personalized. It becomes very upsetting, very angry. Now, because it involves my ego. In other cases, when they are having two issues, they are arguing, and one is telling lies, one is telling truth, and you say, oh, he's telling lies and he's not being honest and something. But you don't get hurt. You don't feel so upset, so angry. So that isn't that clear enough for us to see that it's not just about telling lies, true, being honest or not. It's not just about that. Even though for us, most time we think, oh, it's nothing to do with me. I'm just being very truthful, realistic, but just because you are not telling truth or because you are not being honest. But it's much more beyond that. That is where our life becomes more miserable. I mean, I can see two people arguing, and one is kind of telling lie and one is telling the truth, and I can see that he is not being so honest and not being truthful. But it doesn't upset me so much and anger me so much, make my life so miserable. I can just notice it, and I can just kind of, maybe I might make some judgment of that person's, but I don't take it personal. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't make my life miserable, painful at all. But once it involves my egoistic mind, then that is where our life becomes so that is why the Buddha, Shantideva, Nagarjuna, all the masters have said the root source of problem is our egoistic mind, our self-centeredness, our selfish mind. Whether that is true or not, whether that statement is true or not, we try to apply in our experience and try to see it, whether that was the case or not. Of course, for us, it's difficult to imagine now at the moment the state we are, and then trying to imagine a different state where it's totally very different from our present state. But imagine you have no egoistic mind, that selfish, self-centeredness mind, feeling of so important of that self, And the person saying same thing, doing same thing, acting same way, how you will feel it. We can do that exercise and see it. How you will feel it. Will you feel as hurtful as you feel now? Will you feel as painful as it will feel now? Of course, we see like people kind of taking advantage of each other's, abusing each other's, exploring each other's. When we do see that, sometimes we do get a little upset, a little bit angry of that kind of things going on. But then that doesn't bother us as much as if it was done to someone, my friend, my family, my dear near ones, or me. Do you get it? The intensity of hurt. I mean, in that cases, maybe there isn't even feeling hurt much. It is just upset and angry when you see that someone doing to someone else. And it is not something that you will carry 24 hours, days, nights, weeks, months, years. You see that at that moment, you get a little bit upset, angry, and then maybe once you are out of that situation somewhere else, you forget about it. Or it might remain a little bit, but it doesn't bother and upset you so much, make you so painful. But same thing, imagine happening to someone whom you care about. Yourself. That will multiply 100 times, if not more than that. So what it shows is not because a human being mistreating human being. It's not only about that. Do you get it? It is because it's about mistreating not only human being but my something. And that is where the egoistic mind, and that is where our egoistic mind intensifies everything, the pain, so much. Can you see that? How it works? Because sometimes, we feel like that I'm angry and upset not because anything to do with me, because they are not being honest, they are not being truthful, they are mistreating someone. That is true, but the level of the pain, suffering we go through is not only just because of that. Not only just because of that. If it is just because of that, the feeling of pain we will experience same when you see someone treating the others like same way. They are treating the same human being in that way. But the feeling of hurt, pain is, even if it is there a little bit, is not so strong like we have. That is, so that two situations is very different. And what makes this one much more painful, much more intensity, much more, is in these cases, the self-sharing thought is involved there very much. because I become most important, then anything which is related with me become more important than others. Not only I'm important, now my body is important than any other's body. My experience is more important than anyone's experiences. My cup is most important than anyone's cup. If someone breaks my cups, I get upset. If someone breaks someone's cups, I might not get that so upset. Same thing, same person broke same cup, but now this is making my life miserable. Breaking that cup doesn't make me miserable, painful, but now breaking this cup make me so upset, angry, and my life miserable. Why? Why? Because this cup has become so important in my life now. Why is that? Because there is involvement that it is mine now. And therefore, because I'm so important,